Greetings, hello, and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is hiding and the magpie is casting. Coming at you guys today with a 1 vs 1 live battle, featuring, spawning in the south, it's gonna be the United Kingdom forces of 3imWeckla. And spawning in the north, it's gonna be the Wehrmacht forces of VonAsten. So, a brace of returning players here. Welcome back to the channel, to our two combatants here. The map today is going to be Road to Kharkov, one of my favourite maps and one which we haven't seen on the channel for a long time. So when I saw this map top of the live games roster, I thought to myself, yep, let's cast this one. Let's see now, the commanders for Weckla. We've got the Vanguard, we've got the Special Operations, and we've got the Royal Engineer Regiment. This is the exact same loadout that I myself run with. So obviously, it must be the best. The build order for Weckla, he's gone for 3 of Tommies. Pretty reasonably standard stuff there. I think most players would mix in a Vickers machine gun on this map, especially because there's a lot of good buildings. Getting a Vickers into this building here is pretty damn good, because the arc looking north sort of covers about this much, and then when you get to Veterancy 1 with the 25% increased range, you're looking at covering like all the way up until like out here, which is pretty damn imposing. I mean, you can almost besiege your opponent's base, because also if you turn it to face the west over here with the 1-star Veterancy, you're looking at covering like all the way out to here, so it's pretty intimidating having an MG in this building. Personally, it's a thing that I really like to do. You can imagine, of course, he could have snuck that in there just about now, which would have been just in time to start taking some shots at these guys. Yeah, you might have got hit by a rifle grenade, but whatever, I always play for advantage. The build order for VonAsten, going to be 3 of Grenadiers. Let's check the tech. Nothing fishy going on here. Actually, of course, he has Grenadiers, so he can't possibly have skipped the infantry company. Why am I checking the tech at the 2-minute mark? So anyway, yeah, it looks like VonAsten appreciating the value of this building in the face of particularly a British player. Going to put some Grenadiers in here for now. That's going to stop that building being garrisoned. These Tommies have actually got a reasonable amount of damage on them, which is quite amazing, seeing as how they've really only been skirmishing with a couple of German units. Oftentimes you can find yourself going with Tommies for quite a long time. I don't know what it is about this unit, but they do seem to be incredibly durable, especially once you get the medkit upgrades. It's not unheard of for me to get, 5 minutes or even further into the game without losing a single man as the Brits, which is kind of, it's just a thing that they let you do. This Tommy squad likewise wounded. Where are these Tommies picking up damage from? This one. Oh, they're not wounded. He's researched the 5-man squad upgrade. That's what's happened here. Magpie, pay more attention. Yeah, that's so he hasn't really taken that much damage on these squads. He's just researched the 5-man squad upgrade at a very early timing. So Weckla choosing to prioritise the quad Tommy squad opening with extra man. Now this is a build which we've seen fairly recently on the channel. I think it may even have been from Weckla. Clearly a style which I think he's quite comfortable with, but definitely a style which is sort of in vogue and doing quite well at the moment. Of course, British infantry sections are actually one of the best infantry in the game. And I know you can sort of say that of any of the team's basic infantry in their own way, but if you actually go into the game and look at the statistics for the infantry squad, particularly when they're vetted up, they actually have absurd stats. Like the amount of damage they kick out, their accuracy and their defensive modifiers are fantastic. And that's when they get into their defensive cover bonus, look at this, they're going to decimate these Grenadiers, I reckon. Look at that. Oh, wow, actually speaking of which though, potential squad wipe going down on these Tommies, and it is going to be achieved. VonAsten there, his focus firing absolutely stellar there. He's also got some Grenadiers back here, so actually this fight not going the way I thought it was going to at all. Oh my goodness, you've got to think Weckla just thought he had that and his attention must have been elsewhere, because I don't think you would ever choose to sacrifice a squad like that. So an early setback here for the British player. Let's see if he's able to overcome it. He's having to replace that Tommy squad, which is, that is a bitter pill to swallow for any British player. Of course, a Tommy squad sets you back 280 manpower, so quite the pricey unit. Quite the pricey unit to lose like that. We've got a Star of Veterancy as well above this Grenadier squad. They were able to rack up 5 kills. Fantastic stuff there for the Axis infantry. And we'll have to see how this what happens moving forwards. Now, let's see. Let's check the tech here for the Axis player. He hasn't yet gone for Escalate to Battle Phase 1. I reckon that may just be a mistake. He may just be delaying because he's been microing in combat or something. I doubt we'll see another infantry. Oh, he may be going for a sniper, actually. the amount of manpower he's stocking kind of looks that way, and he's just chosen his commander. He's going to be going with the Lightning War Doctrine, so we all know what this commander's about. Seen it a couple of times now on the channel. I'm going to crack the tack because we've got no scuffles going on right now. We've seen the Lightning War Doctrine a couple of times on the channel, and it is very good for applying pressure to British forces. You've got your relief infantry, which is fantastic. You've got your rapid infantry tactical movement, which is really good. The Jaeger light infantry upgrade, I think, is a little bit suspect. It's not one that I personally would choose to use, but we'll see if VonAsten thinks it's worthwhile. I don't like it. I think this is the weakest part of the commander. But the commander's otherwise very strong. You've got the anti-tank strafing run, which is superb, and then you've got the Tiger tank in the late game, which, you know, the Tiger tank's a good unit. Far better. I would, any day, I would rather have a Tiger over the King Tiger. The King Tiger in this game is just a slow, hulking liability. A Tiger tank you can actually make things happen with, and it's quite the useful unit, in my opinion. Anyway, looks like we've got a good line of Axis forces here. 2 squads of Grenadiers, some Pioneers with a Flamer in this building, preventing Tommies from approaching too close. But they'll probably be happy just to pick down these Pioneers at long range, using the soft cover here to get a rate of fire increase. Sandbags have been deployed at this point, so these guys here, these Tommies getting the heavy rate of fire increase. Grenadiers in good cover though, using their accuracy and heavy hitting KAR 98Ks to inflict damage on the way back, but you've got to think this is a fight that the Tommies are going to take. Now I said that about the fight before and they get absolutely decimated, but failing a rifle grenade, actually this is looking really tempting for a rifle grenade, but VonAsten still has not escalated to battle phase 1, so no rifle grenade forthcoming. That upgrade's about to finish, but the opportunity has been missed, so I think possibly, you know, he did go for the sniper, that's what he was saving for, but that has cost him the opportunity of a very tasty rifle grenade there. Now, you know, the British player might have seen that coming. It's definitely not damage in the bag, but I'm just saying that by delaying that battle phase 1 upgrade, it's not free. You do miss out on opportunities like that. Anyway, sniper and a grenadier squad going to be forced back. Move out here from a couple of Tommy squads with some engineers in backup. Going to force the Axis troops back. Meanwhile, in the north, we've got another fight here. Tommy's in heavy cover, going to repulse some grenadiers, and the British infantry at this point is simply outclassing that of the Germans. The 5-man squads of Tommies with their rate of fire bonus in cover, combined with the Lee Enfield, which, you know, I mean, that's a fast-firing rifle, is doing quite a lot of damage. Now, the LMG-42 upgrade's starting to come out for the Grenadiers. That's going to enable them to punch back a little bit. The LMG-42 upgrade, of course, you know, I would say, I don't know if it doubles the DPS of a Grenadier squad, but it's got to be close. It's pretty damn good. And we've got the sniper here on backup. Now, an AEC-10 is the tech of choice, so we've gone to the platoon command post for Weckla. He's researched the AEC-10 upgrade. That's 15 fuel and 100 manpower, and he's getting an AEC-10. So that's coming out now. That's, let's see now, it's 340 manpower and 30 fuel, I believe. Sorry, let me just check that again. 50 fuel, sorry, my bad. But given that it is basically a Puma light, I think that's perfectly fine. And it's not even that light. I mean, the gun's still deadly. It has a number of advantages over the Puma, actually. For one, it's cheaper. It's just not quite as fast. So anyway, the MG-42 set up in a decent position. That's going to force some Tommies back and enable these Pioneers to start recapping this point. Sniper's going to be grabbing this point over here on the left. Grenadiers pushing up through mid. They're going to get this crucial cutoff point. And by taking this point, if I crack the tack here, you can see this is the cutoff point, so this will cut off a number of important resource points, including a fuel and munitions one, but the Grenadiers are going to be forced back by Tommies and the AEC-10, which is going to be moving out here on the southern, sort of southwestern flank of the map. Now we've got Tommies likewise taking the German cutoff point, but since the British already own the munitions and fuel point on this side, this is actually only cutting off one resource point. So, but still a bit of pills to swallow for the Germans. Not what you want at all. So VonAsten kind of under the gun here. He's got to make something happen. These Grenadiers going to have to get the hell out of there. 4 squads of Grenadiers now on the field, 2 with LMG-42s. So starting to mass up a decent amount of infantry. I bet VonAsten would love to have access to the relief infantry. That's the kind of thing he needs right now to swing a fight in his favour. Just push on out with a very aggressive wave of infantry, and then fall them back and come back redoubled with Ostripan squads filling the gaps. That would be nice right now, but he's going to have to wait for that. AEC-10 in a decent position. Not quite sure about the facing here, because whatever he wants to do with this is going to have to turn. Pardon me, and there it is now. Turning, getting really aggressive right now. Weckla absolutely showing how to use Brits in the early game rather than going on the defensive, because traditionally when I'm used to commenting on battles usually involving Wehrmacht and Brits, the Wehrmacht forces take an early lead and tend to arrive in the mid-game with a massive ticket lead. Seemingly, Weckla's had enough of this. He just goes for the 5-man squad upgrade and gets a load of Tommy squads on the field. Backs it up with an AEC-10. I'm really liking this build. I think it's something I might have to try, because it converts the Brits into having quite a strong early game, seemingly, against the Axis forces. Now, the Brits base 25-pounders seemingly hosing this area. Not quite sure why the pyrotechnics package has come out there. MG42 in an okay position, but the boys from Wales are going to get around it, and they're going to start hosing down the weapon team. Here they are now. They've got 5 men in that squad. What do they get at Veterancy 1? Increased rate of fire while in cover. Oh, that's pretty useful stuff. Anyway, yeah, the boys from Wales here doing good work. Sniper on standby, though. We've got a lot of LMG-42 Grenadiers beginning to edge into various buildings and fire in from the right-hand flank here. Wow, squad wipe goes down on the engineers. You've got to think Weckla, a little bit of a mistake there, kind of overextending them deep into enemy territory, surrounded by enemy squads. That was not such a great move, and that kind of reminds me of earlier when he lost that Tommy squad. So we'll see, but a couple more mistakes like that, and the Axis player is going to be right in this game. We've got an AC-10 here with engine damage, so you've got to think of Faust from one of these Grenadier squads has caused that, but I'm going to keep my attention on this battle here in the south, since that's where most of the action is. Sniper at the back, Zamaja, up to 11 kills and 1.5 stars of veterancy. Wow, the Wehrmacht Sniper, ever the good unit when you're playing against United Kingdom forces, as I'm sure Wehrmacht players already know. He's just really, really good. So I wonder if we'll see an SAS Sniper come out as an attempted counter. For now, though, the Royal Engineer is going to be replaced. Weckla has enough fuel for his company command post, not quite the manpower yet. That upgrade, I believe, weighs in at, let's see, 280 manpower, so going to have to save for just a little bit here, about another 30 seconds or so if he wants to take that platoon, that company command post upgrade. So, a 6-pounder moving out onto the field, and a pack gun for the Germans, just now, there it is, just now coming onto the field, and it seems like VonAsten has managed to get his act together. He's forced back a lot of the British forces, he's managed to re-grab these points, but Weckla is grabbing them back, so making ground in the south, but losing it in the north right now is VonAsten. Flamer Pioneer is going to try and get some work done on these Tommies. Why is that Flamer just doing no damage? Man, Flamers, since the changes in September, have been so unpredictable. Like, sometimes they absolutely roast and toast, sometimes they seemingly do nothing. It's beginning to do damage now, but I find it very unpredictable, the amount of damage that flamethrowers do. And those Tommies are actually able, in heavy cover, I mean, they're down to half health, but they do have medkits, and they didn't lose a single man, so not really a very productive fight there from the Pioneers with the flamethrower. Anyway, this MG42 needs to be repositioned. VonAsten does know about these Pioneers here in the south. They're just going to take a moment to heal, and that's got to be a great idea. Meanwhile, in the north, squad of Tommies just kind of pushing through. Although at this range, you'd have thought maybe these LMG Grenadiers are going to take them. There's also a sniper in the Neovon. Here he is. So he's going to start capping rounds in. And he is now veterancy 2, so he's got the improved rate of fire. That's the most important level of veterancy for that unit. Here comes the AC-10, though. It's going to look to take out the sniper. The first shot misses. The machine gun fires. Sniper takes a hit. He's going to fall back. Here's the shot. Nope, that's going to miss as well. And I believe Zamaja is going to sneak away. Yep, he's out of there. The pack gun as well, coming in for a fantastic hit on the AEC. Quickly going to reposition, try for another shot. But it seems like the British scout car is going to sneak away, but the main gun gets destroyed by a second hit from the pack gun. So getting some good damage there, and that'll represent some decent veterancy on the pack gun. Yep, nearly 2/3 of a level there. So that's good stuff there for VonAsten, who's beginning to look okay in this game. Obviously, I haven't commented on this so far, but he's behind in terms of score. He's trailing right now by a good 90. Let's see, 94 tickets. So that's not where he wants to be, but he is beginning to claw it back. Although having said that, British forces right now capturing the southern victory point, so we'll have to keep an eye on the scoreline. But it is atypical in my experience that that Axis forces find themselves behind at this stage in the game, and that is a direct result of Weckla's atypical opening, going for this 5-man squad upgrade and not spamming, but relying very heavily on Tommies. So yeah, I'm really liking the style here from Weckla. We'll have to see how he decides to transition. The company command post is now online, and he has about 80 fuel in the bank, so we could see a Centaur soon, we could see a Cromwell, or he might decide to save for something else. I mean, he does have a 6-pounder, so he's not exactly forced. He's also got the AEC-10 for anti-tank, so he's not exactly forced to worry about German armour. So we could see him save, hold on for a Firefly, maybe even do something funky, like go for a Comet or a Churchill. We're not quite sure, but he doesn't need to decide yet. He can wait until the German player decides to commit his fuel spending. Speaking of which, light skirmishes going on, but I'm just going to quickly try and check the tech here for the German player. So he has gone to escalate to battle phase 2. The support armor company can now be constructed, but it isn't on the way yet. So no danger of a Panzer IV, Ostwind, or Stug in the near future. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. In fact, you know what? He's up at 179 fuel. I honestly think that the right choice right now is, I mean, he could just keep saving for a Tiger. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably the right decision, is to build a Stug, build a Sport Armor Company, build a Stug now, then save for a Tiger. But I mean, he does have the option of researching Escalate to Battle Phase 3 and going for a Brumbar or a Star or a Panther or something like that. I'm not saying that's a good idea, but it's one that I'd be tempted to go for just because those are cool units. Anyway, Rifle Grenade going to come down, hits these Tommies, gets them down to 2 men. Pack Gun's in a good position. AEC in the north is going to be forced back. These Tommies here, they do have a Pyrotechnics package, and actually this is a tempting spot for the Pyrotechnics barrage. If you can get the grenade right here, this corridor is used almost all the time by German forces, and there is also this MG42 in this building, so that could do something. But in the end, these Tommies are going to have to fall back. The MG42 and supporting Grenadiers, too much for the one squad of Tommies. Sniper still doing work in mid. He's up to 17 kills now, 2.5-star veterancy. He's just going to take another shot into these Tommies. Yep, there we go, and another man goes down. This is Major applying his deadly trade. AEC-10's going to come in here. This squad of Grenadiers now down to 1 man. That's a little bit risky. They're going to stay just long enough to capture this point. VonAsten taking that one down to the wire, and that 2-star squad of Grenadiers are going to escape with their life intact. SAS Sniper is here, though, and he's in range of the Major, who's not presently camoed, but unable to get the shot. The boy's 55 cal anti-tank sniper rifle, too slow, and he reveals himself. He was not set to hold fire. The Major could turn on him here and cap him off. The Major takes aim and snipes the SAS Sniper, so a fantastic pickup there for the German Sniper. That's nearly put him to 3-star veterancy, and a sort of a gutting loss there for Weckla. The Scottish Assault Squad Sniper, I mean, that's 360 manpower, and you always have higher hopes for it than that. I love the way his 55 cal just doesn't even have a scope. It is just hard iron sights on the top of that gun. I mean, it's such a crazy... Sorry, on the side of the gun, even, since the magazine is a top loader on that one. Such a strange gun. But a fantastic thing. If you ever see one, it is just... It's basically a one piece of metal as well. They're fantastically... I don't know, just a weird thing. Anyway, Pineapple going to come out here from the Tommies. Oh no, sorry, I take it back. That's a Pyrotechnics package. Although seemingly... Oh no, there it is. It is actually going off. So Pyrotechnics package coming down in a reasonable position. That's going to make life hard for the German forces if they want to attack into these points now. So the AC-10 finds itself repaired. That's going to return to the field. Meanwhile, in the north, squad of Grenadiers in good cover. Going to see off the boys from Wales there. Those Royal Engineers going to be forced back. This pack gun's in an interesting position. I think, to be honest, he either needs to put it here behind this tree covering here, or he needs to bring it forward to behind this wall and take an aggressive position here, move these pioneers to here, put these Grenadiers just capping this point behind the wall, and then hop over when he's done. And this would be a nice area to hold. Now we've got a move out here of our English forces. The Cromwell has been the weapon of choice for Weckla, so that's his fuel spending. And a Panzer IV, the weapon of choice for VonAsten. So we're going to have a classic battle here between the cruiser tank and the German Panzer. So place your bets now. Now at the moment, oh dear, please don't overextend. I was going to say you need to wait for your pack gun, and you also need to know that the AC-10 is here before you think about this fight. There's also the 6-pounder is here. Looks like we're setting up for our first major battle of the game. A lot of squads from both teams converging on this area. The Panzer IV has been revealed. The MG42 pintle mount has been taken, so look to see that unit now doing great damage against infantry and vetting itself up at an improved rate. The Panzer IV is a fantastic medium tank. It's not cheap by any means, but it is inexpensive enough that the veterancy rate is moderate. So you can see a Panzer IV easily get to Veterancy 2 in quite a hurry, and Veterancy 3 in a lot of games where the player is skilled and looks after the unit. So the Panzer IV also is one of those tanks which I would say until it's Veterancy level 2, I would classify this unit as fragile, especially considering its cost. So you really do have to look after that unit. Now, where's the British Cromwell? It seems to have positioned itself here. Weckla here, positioning it fantastically behind a ring of infantry. This is what I always like to see from players, using their tanks behind a ring of infantry. Never have your tank just facing fog of war and being idle without a good reason, because that is how tanks can get ambushed and destroyed. And when you're talking about your most expensive and valuable units, that is not what you want to happen. That's right. Hard-hitting, detailed, and potent insight there from Magpie. Yes. In other news, players should not do bad things, and I also think players should do good things. Anyway, British forces making a push in the north. The Panzer IV is in a decent position. That's going to repulse those Tommies. Obviously, they don't have any Piats or any kind of anti-tank grenade or anything like that, so nothing like that going to be coming down cruiser tank here, going to be doing what it can in mid, taking shots at these grenadiers. Unluckily not getting any kills so far. The tank commander upgrade has come down. Meanwhile, we've got fighting all the way across the map, so I'm trying to cover things as best as I can. Squad of Tommies here, going to try and take out this 6-pounder, which has been stolen by the Axis forces. You've got to feel like that was off the back of possibly a rifle grenade or maybe just concerted fire. Another squad of Tommies here, going to gun down the crew on that one. So the 6-pounder right now is available for salvage. In the north, the Panzer IV pushes forward. That's going to cause the Royal Engineers to have to fall back. The Cromwell's moving out to take on the Panzer IV. We're going to have an armour battle here, so I'm going to look to cover that. Grenadiers getting massacred by the gun on that Cromwell. Actually, no, I'm not actually sure what the gun is on that Cromwell. For any history buffs out there, if you could just put in the comments what kind of gun that is. I'm guessing it's... no, it can't be a 6-pounder, surely. 6-pounder seems too big. I don't know what the gun on that thing is. Anyway, Panzer IV here, it's gonna try and hoover up all these infantry. This 6-pounder's kind of been caught off guard. I think he should just stay still to get the bonus accuracy on this tank. Just stay still, because that would kill this thing in a lot quicker time. I don't know why he's deciding to chase in. The Cromwell could come in here, and then that would suddenly be a fight. The Cromwell, though, is kind of taking a fight against this pack gun. It's taken some damage. It's down to 2/3 health. Oh my goodness, we've got action going on all over the map right now. And here comes the Panzer IV. Looks like it's going to try and join the fight against the Cromwell. First tank, the first shot, it's a hit. The Cromwell fires back. That should be a penetrating hit through the side armour. Oh no, the positioning on that Cromwell was awful. He did not want to go like that because now he's exposed his rear armour, and also by turning the tank this way, that was going against the turret traverse, which delayed its first shot by a long way. That is how you lose a fight with the Panzer IV. What he wanted to do there was, rather than coming this way, I mean, that Cromwell was in a bad position, but I think probably the Panzer IV was facing this way, so I think the best bet was to reverse this way and then try and escape by reversing down this road. If the Panzer IV wants to chase, that's fine. You can take that exchange with your front armour facing his whilst you're reversing all day. The tank commander provides a lot of accuracy, so you're going to be hitting a lot more than the Panzer IV is on the move. So I think that was the choice, but I mean, having the Cromwell here pointing in this direction was already kind of suspect. So I think possibly biting off more than he can chew with the Cromwell there. But that's actually something you can do with a Cromwell. They do only cost 110 fuel. That doesn't put them into the you can totally take a punt with this unit whenever you like kind of category. But it's a lot cheaper than a lot of other tanks in the game. So if you're going to lose one, the Cromwell is not too bad. And Weckla very much still in this game. However, VonAsten has taken quite the score lead. He's at 354 over the 190 of the British player. So he's got to be cognizant of the clock right now, has Weckla. And to that end, he's taking 2 of the victory points on the map. That will help. British forces here, they're going to capture this point, but quickly be pushed back. And I bet he wishes this Cromwell was still alive right now. Because it would be really useful pushing these forces back. The AEC-10 is going to do what it can, but a Panzerfaust is going to come down. Is Weckla paying attention? He is. He's going to reverse that just in the nick of time. The scout car securing itself a star of veterancy as it retreats. A pack gun going to push up. I'd love him to just push it right up behind this wall. That would be a great place. I find on this corner is great because that way the arc on the pack gun covers this approach here and also a substantial amount of the battlefield over here. So I like this position here for the pack gun. Panzer IV moving forward. So that thing's at 1 star of veterancy. 1 and I would say 15% or so of another star. Sniper here going to be displaced by the Tommies moving up, but they in turn are going to take a lot of fire from this MG position, and I imagine they're going to be forced back. This victory point will probably soon fall into Axis hands. An SAS sniper is moving out. I'll try and keep my eyes on the fight that's going to come down between him and the sniper. Oh, this Panzer IV is getting seriously hooned on by a captured pack gun and the AEC-10. Lucky to escape with its life there. That final hit, I mean, that was like very hard to judge whether that would have killed it or not, so I kind of feel VonAsten a little lucky, perhaps. But it got a lot of damage onto the scout car, forced to retreat from a lot of British units here, and that's going to stand him in good stead as we move forwards. Now, he desperately needs to repair that Panzer IV. These Tommies are kind of pushing forwards. There's enough Grenadiers here that I think that these Tommies are not going to be able to push across the open here. Yeah, there we go. They're going to have to fall back. Meanwhile, in the north, let's see. The SAS sniper was killed. I'm sorry I missed that. Seems that, yep. Here is his corpse. Now, if that was the Major who sniped him off, and I kind of think it had to have been 30 kills on some Major now. 2 enemy snipers. I'm going to go ahead and say it was the Major who sniped this guy. I mean, he could have died to the MG team, but I don't think MGs kill a sniper fast enough, and I would have thought Weckla would have retreated the sniper. So I'm just going to say that the Major sniped that sniper. And, yeah, 2 snipers to his name now. So things looking pretty good right now for the Axis player. 3 victory points in hand. chewing up some land, and only 2 resource points connected for the British player. The fuel situation is going to be dire over there. So Weckla is going to have to rely on his AT guns here for most of his anti-tank. The AC-10, though, is still alive. That thing's nearly 2-star vet. But the line here for the British player, I think he has to choose 2 of the victory points, one of which has to be the central one, and decide to just hold those. Oh dear, a Tiger tank now arriving though from VonAsten. And when I say 2, so the British player can either decide to take these 2 and focus all of his efforts on this area of the map, or he can decide to take these 2 and focus all his efforts on this area of the map. Now, I like the choice from Weckla here. I think you've been banging your head against this area of the map. You know that the German player has a lot of things in good positions already here, so by attacking here, you have a much better chance for success, I believe, but things are still going to be incredibly difficult against a Tiger tank and a Panzer IV. Now, there's another Cromwell coming out. That thing's going to be with us, and it's going to be with us well before the end of the game, so that Cromwell is going to make a difference here. Even if Weckla is unable to take a victory point, the game has enough duration left in it that this Cromwell is going to be able to make some plays. So let's see what happens. The Panzer IV is going to redeploy. The Tiger tank likewise heading over cross, so VonAsten seems to know that the gig is up. He's seen enough British units that he suspects a major assault, and no MG42 Pintle Mountain upgrade coming down on the Tiger despite a vast amount of munitions stored. Here come the Typhoons, so the Vanguard regiment, the Vanguard commander has been chosen. That's going to force the Axis units to be a little bit scarce right now, but a lot of infantry just pouring across here and grabbing the fuel point in the south. The British advance here is doing well. He's got the 1 victory point. That's really going to help. That's going to buy him a lot of time, but he needs this one. And there's a Tiger tank from Panzer IV, like a little too close. Now, the Typhoons seemingly have not done a lot of damage to anything, so... Although, having said that, actually, no, they are doing some good damage to these guys. And the Cromwell on backup here. Needs to take the tank commander upgrade here. Needs to do that. That just makes such a big difference to the Cromwell. Sorry if I'm skitting around with the camera a little bit, it's just there's a lot of action to cover right now. A lot of stuff going on in a lot of different places on the battlefield. And, oh, here comes the Typhoon again, gets a hit onto the Panzer IV, doing some damage there, and getting strafing it with the machine guns as well. That Panzer IV has taken about 20% of its HP in damage now, so I just paused for a sip on my drink. Tiger tank is deciding to challenge at the north here. The aimed shot from the AC-10 comes down. That's going to damage the engine. In fact, that could have been from the pack gun, actually. That's going to damage the engine. AC-10 uses smoke, but I believe it's on the wrong side of its own smoke barrage here. As the Tiger tank now turns its attention... No, it's just going to sit there in front of this pack gun. Not sure about that. What's going on here? There's 1 Grenadier at 3-star vet desperately trying to decrew the anti-tank gun, and he will. Now he needs to fall back. Panzer IV comes in. That's going to provide a bit more anti-infantry. Pack gun is here, though. The Cromwell, this is not a fight you want to take, Cromwell. This is a bad spot to be in. All of your opponent's anti-tank firepower is focused here, and you just drove through it. The Tiger tank is going to be more than happy to convert that one. A Panzerfaust comes down, and the Cromwell has been basically destroyed for naught. The AC-10 is going to have a couple of cracks into the rear armor on this Tiger, but that too is going to be for naught, I feel. The Panzer IV and the Tiger say, whoa! The Tiger goes down, impaled by a shot to the rear and a shot to the front. The 6-pounder, ever dangerous, did not think he was going to pick up the Panzer IV there. Sorry, the Tiger there. And this AC-10 kind of trading. It's going to get the next shot, but no! A Panzerfaust comes out. That's going to do for the British scout car. And this Panzer IV is going to scurry away. Wow, Weckla really punching above his weight there. I did not think he would be able to take down a Tiger and nearly the Panzer IV using those units. So, good work. But was it enough? And the answer is probably not, because he's at 40 tickets, and this pack gun could just, it really should reposition just to take this point. That would be stellar work. And then the British forces will pretty much be pushed out of the game. In fact, if you look at the top left, the only forces remaining for Weckla right now is some Tommies and some Royal Engineers. So, sad to say it, but the game is over for the British forces here. I mean, barring a miracle or VonAsten like falling asleep on his keyboard, I just can't see a way back. Weckla gave it all he could here, and that was a determined assault, and I think he can kind of feel proud that he managed to destroy the big cat there. Because, you know, that always feels good. That always feels good. You know, no Axis player doesn't feel a little sting when you lose one of your big cats. So, that's a good kill there. But I'm not sure what he can do now. Oh, there we go. He's disconnected. So that is the end of that game. A good fight from both players. Weckla there showing that the British forces can really be leveraged to have a really good early game. If you take the 5-man squad upgrade and rely heavily on Tommies, you can actually have what appears to be a stronger earlier game than the Wehrmacht. But here's the thing, I mean the 5-man squad upgrade costs, what, 25 fuel? Yeah, 25 fuel, and that's going to considerably delay your company command post. And also it's gonna, and then he went for the AC-10, and that delayed his company command post even further, which means that his first tank was actually the Cromwell. That was coming out like in almost at the same time as the German Panzer IV, and he only got one more shot at an armoured unit. Basically what I'm saying is, by going for this strong early game, you're investing a lot of fuel in the AC-10 and the 5-man squad upgrade for your Tommies, and that actually delays what I still think is the Brits' strongest aspects, their late game play. I think that the British armour in the late game, once you start getting your Churchills and your Firefly rolling, it's kind of like things just get basically impossible for the Axis player, especially a Wehrmacht player, to overcome. So it's up to you whether you take the strong early game or you rush to the Brits' strong late game. But that appears to be the trade-off with going for this build. It's one which I definitely want to experiment with though, because I'm fed up of getting dominated in the early game as Brits, and having 5-man squads of Tommies ×4 running around the map seems to be a really strong way of just beating your way through the Axis early game. So yeah, I'll be looking to give that a try. Thanks very much to the two players. Really appreciate their efforts. Thanks very much to everybody at home watching on the channel. You're all awesome. And this is Magpie842 signing out till next time.